Welcome live to the Fowler Show here on YouTube this evening, here on this lovely Thursday night, 7 p.m. Just gone, 7 o'clock. We do the show anytime now, don't we? 10 p.m., 12 p.m., 7 p.m. UK time, 10 a.m. on the mountain coast, or however you want to pronounce it over there. We're joined by somebody I think is in Denver, Colorado. I could be Wong. There you go, I'm Wong. Colorado Spring. It's still in Colorado, so I'm close. I am, yes. Yes, I'm surprised. Nobody else has researched me. There you go. How did you find out I was in Cheshire? Oh, damn it. I forgot about that. There we go. Got to change that in the show, but there we go. It doesn't matter. Again, you can hear him, and this is a great guy. He's an interviewer / commentator. He's been with Wacky Mountain Pro, because it's been around since we've been on Wacky Mountain Pro. It's been like 5 months, I think it was, since we brought on somebody from Wacky Mountain Pro. It's been a long time, hasn't it? So I thought, why not? Why not bring on somebody else from Wacky Mountain Pro? Let's do it a different way this time. And I like this work. He's a great broadcaster, great interviewer, got good chemistry, and good personality with his with the fellow wrestlers in the locker room. It is Santi Rico here on the Edward Fowler Show.
Get the roll in there.
There you go. How you doing?
I'm doing well, brother. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. I'm doing okay. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, because this was in a partnership with Mercury Yaden, the owner of Wacky Mountain Pro, who set this up between myself and Santi. So thank you so much for accepting Mercury Yaden request to come on my show.
Oh yeah, no problem. I mean, Matt's a homie. I'll always. I mean, this is my first chance for publicity. I'm gonna take it.
Yes, and in the last 24 hours, somebody who actually came on the show back last year, Alexander Hammerstone, who I didn't even knew, who actually reads my tweets, actually followed you on Twitter through me. So that was
exciting.
Nice. That was nice.
Yeah, man. I have never been followed by anyone that I views like that. Like a top wrestler. I think Alexander Hammerstone is one of the top wrestlers in the independents. So it was awesome. I've never had jolts of dopamine like that,
Well, I'm glad that he actually reads my tweets as well, because he did follow me last year. I think, okay, you probably don't read my tweets anyway, but I'm glad he does, and I'm glad that you was able to make your day yesterday as well, which is cool. And I do hope that you get to meet him as well in person one time.
Yeah. I would love to meet the
guy. So never say never here on the Edward Fowler Show. But let's talk. Let's get into it then. Let's talk about what made you to be a part of Wacky Mountain Pro. How did that all happen? Did you contact them? Did you, how did you find Wacky Mountain Pro? Have you been a fan of theirs for ages, or what?
So yeah, I've always been a fan of sports. Wrestling was like my gateway drug per se. I started with wrestling, and then I kind of fell off into soccer, and then I got into other sports. And I went to college for 3 years. I decided it wasn't for me. You call it university out there.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do something, that I knew I would enjoy for the next few years and see how it pans out. So I got in contact with the only training academy in the Rocky Mountain region, the Rocky Mountain Pro, and I set up like a little meet and greet. I got to go out there, see their facilities, I met Matt, I met Mario, Gaspar. I don't know if you know about him, and some of the backstage guys. And I wasn't able to afford it initially, so I had to work a long time to save up my money. But I started in December, and I've been dying to get back to it.
Yes, I think we all are, but
yeah.
It's been a very boring few months, because who would have thought the start of the year that that virus is going to spread to Europe,
that terrible thing,
and to the UK and to America. So
US #1, brother.
Yes.
We did it better.
Yes. So does Donald Trump as well. So
yeah.
There you go.
What
there
a
you go.
What a guy.
We have our opinions about that. And then so you made your, you save up money for it, and then you eventually were able to I'm guessing approach Wacky Mountain Pro and ask him if I can have a tryout or something like that.
Yeah.
And then what made you to become a interviewer slash commentator? Was it because
Well,
somebody in your childhood or something you look up to in wrestling business or outside wrestling business inspired
yeah.
you?
It's a bunch of those things. Like growing up, I was listening to JR and the King on
Yes.
commentary, and that was one of the best teams ever. So hearing JR's calls, and then the King was, he was a little jokester back then. He still is. I loved it. And that's initially what I wanted to come in to do. Physically, I don't think I'm that impressive. I'm kind of stick skinny. I'm 5'8", 135 pounds. Like I would have to do a lot to look good in between the ropes. And I've always thought that I'm pretty well spoken. I've had a lot of time to master my ability to speak in front of crowds and just get my point across, be able to tell a story.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It's good. It's good that because I do like the King as well. He can do. He can do the what? I can do the what?
What?
Yeah. All those high pitched noises.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
And if you've not seen his work, you should check it out on youtube.com/Swagman Pro. See some of the interviews being posted on there. He's done you have done a cracking job so far. It hasn't been any awkward interview done so far with any of the wrestlers, which you think it could have gone a bit better, or been scared of.
It's not necessarily awkward. Okay. It's just that a lot of the guys bring intensity. Like you're not ready for it. Like Atiba, I think was my first interview, and I just I got him after one of his matches, and he still had like energy to boot. He was still going crazy on his interview, and it's just it takes you off guard when you're meeting these guys for the first time.
Fair enough. And you mentioned as well that they're quite intimidating as well, and
Yeah, those dudes, they scare me sometimes. Severino Corrente, that dude. The interview, I don't know if you've seen it, but I have a sit-down interview with him.
Yes, I did see that one,
like,
actually, yeah.
Just chills the entire time. Like, you could tell he believes everything he says. Like, he's so intense. Doesn't break eye contact. Like, it was hard. I was trying to look away and everything.
Well, to me, it looked like he didn't even want to be interviewed. To me, that's what what my impression was.
Well, because I'm new. I've only been around for 3 months. He's barely seen me around, so
fair enough.
Interviewing him for the first time, he was obviously hesitant, and I hope he understands that I'm not trying to cast any sort of light on him. I'm just trying to understand where his mentality is at and understand him as a person.
Okay. And from that, what did you get from his mind there? Because you can't really shake people's hands anymore, can you? Because you got to do you have to find a new way to greet people now. Have you got any new techniques coming as well?
Well, I think we're gonna obviously have to incorporate this.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can give or take. I mean, it's a lot easier than a handshake, so I don't think it would be as insulting if you were hesitant about it.
But it depends if you got a bony elbow. I got a bony elbow, so this would be quite interesting. It'd be
hit it in the funny bone in the bad area.
There you go.
Just,
yeah. There we go. But I mean, on the subject, I mean, like, he didn't really want to be there. It's like every time you ask him a question, I thought he was gonna come up and beat you up. Because
yeah, and certainly, he could do that. He has the skill set and the physicality to be able to do that. I have to just rely on my strength of personality and my, I guess, not intimidating demeanor. I don't think that I come off as a scary guy. I'm curious, and I'm trying to get the answers out of this guy. So it's up to him what he wants to do with me. I don't mean any harm by my questions. I don't want to put him in a weird situation by asking him those. So he's able to just decline me if he wants.
Yeah, he could do, but he didn't.
He doesn't have to beat me up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, look, he didn't beat you up, but again, it lasted about 2 minutes, didn't it? I had a 2 minute interview, the quickest I think in Rocky Mountain Pro history. I could be wrong about that, but I think it was. And what interview techniques have you learned? And has anybody within Rocky Mountain Pro, or have you got external videos you've seen and tried to take advice from?
Yeah, of course you want to study the greats like Mean Gene, like JR. I think Tony Schiavone was also an excellent interviewer. And I want to take the best parts of that necessarily. But I also want to be myself there. So I think it's both learning from the past and from people who have done it, and people who know how to do it, and bringing your own personal flair into it.
Yeah, absolutely, and you have, because it shines in those interviews and the few we've seen, and I hope that when things do go back to the norm of some sorts, we hope to see more of your interesting interviews and your interviews tactics you use. Because I want to know where you come up with these very very interesting and straight to the point questions, I have to say. So. Do you have to do a lot of research before, sir, or do you just come up with on the spot?
Research is not my strong suit. I'll be honest. I've always been one to get a general feel for someone, and just go out there and meet them and experience that firsthand. I feel like when you think about it too much, you get caught up in your head, and you think of these questions and how they're going to react or whatever, and I think it's just better to, go with the motion.
Yeah, go with the flow, as we say here in the UK, and that's why this show is 100% unscripted. There you go about that. So I bet that's happy for you. Yeah, this was never scripted.
Yeah, I'm spitting this out bar for bar off the top.
Yeah. Beforehand, my guest did not know what the questions were. He knows a few things, a few of the topics I'm going to discuss with him, but not every single question. There you go. So, let's talk about this as well then. Who would you like to interview in the future when you can?
So as you said at the start of the show, Alexander Hammerstone, I would love to get an opportunity. I think I need to build up my body of work before I'm able to interview a man of his magnitude. So hopefully someday in the future. People that have been on your show, man, I'm so impressed. Like Selena De La Renta, I would love to meet her. I would love to interview her. She's got one of the most vicious and savage mentalities in the business.
Oh, yeah, she does. I got nervous about her.
Gosh, she's just, I don't know. I might have a little crush, but she's just crazy.
Don't we all? Don't we all have a bit of a crush of Selena De La Renta?
Yeah. But yeah, that's two off of the top of my head. And eventually I would like to also interview Corey Lyon, the party animal with Rocky Mountain Pro. I think he's a fun guy. I would love to, get a peek into his mind.
Yeah. I'm surprised you mentioned Jumbo Zamore, who's been on the show back in January.
See, that's the issue with Jumbo Zamore.
Because you're too scared of him, aren't you?
Exactly. You were talking about how Corrente could have beat me up. Dude, Zamore doesn't care. Zamore would pound me into the ground. Are you kidding me?
I think we all love to see that, though. I think.
My mother wouldn't like to see that. My father wouldn't like to see that. My girlfriend wouldn't like to see that. I'm not trying to do it to them. So we'll have to. We'll be tentative on that. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. But I mean, what were the reactions when you said to them that I joined Rocky Mountain Pro as part of the broadcast team? Were they happy for you, or were they thinking, "Oh no, please don't get beat up"?
Well, they wish I would have finished college. But most of all, they're just happy that I'm doing something that I care about and that I'm passionate about, and that I think I do pretty well.
Fair enough. Let's see. Now we talked about before about Cheshire. Do you know about Cheshire is, by the way, in the UK?
No,
did you Google it?
I honestly don't. I just like the way UK town names sound, like Cheshire, Lancashire, all kinds of weird stuff.
I know. We got a place called, what are you called? I can't remember. There's a place, and then you guys pinched it as well, but I can't remember what it's called now. It's down south somewhere, but when I remember, I will let you know. what it's called again. But I do like what you've done to your background. It's like you got your own little green screen going on because you made your background blur out. So
yeah.
very impressive.
I'm living with the lady right now, and she doesn't want her decor on display. I guess it's very expensive or whatever.
Fair enough, but yeah, I do like the presentation by my guest this evening here on the show. Of course, the other thing that's make you stand out from other broadcasters is because of your hairstyle. You know, how did that all start? Yeah, exactly. How did that all start?
It's gotten even worse, man. Yeah. I don't know. I've been trying to grow out my hair. I want it even longer. I like long hair.
Because you want to flick it, don't you? You don't want people who like to
precisely, brother. There's something about, the hair flip. It just gets people going.
Yeah. I find it quite annoying when people do that. I do. Yeah. It's quite annoying.
Okay.
Because
you think I'm annoying?
No. But I mean, like, some of my friends, all he did, like, he grew his hair over his eye, and then every 5 seconds, he'd flip it.
Yeah, I did that in middle school, and then I was like, why don't I just hold it back or hold it up?
Yeah, but I mean, your neck must hurt after a while. Keep doing the same movement, you know.
Dude, okay, so I'm Puerto Rican. This hair is thick as hell, so I'm carrying probably 3 pounds of hair on my head, and I already got a haircut 3 weeks ago.
Quite cute.
So, in the middle of quarantine, I was walking around with a mop.
Oh my word! Because that's interesting to see that you're from Puerto Rico. It means you are technically the third Puerto Rican on this show. So
yeah.
There we go.
I saw that you had Selena De Lorena.
Yeah, she was the first, and then last week I had on, and on a few 2 days ago, I had on Android 787, I think his name was, and he was on Puerto Rico, a wrestler. Yeah. In a few companies.
Only problem is I'm not from the island. My mom's from the island. I was born here in Colorado.
Fair enough.
So
you are half Puerto Rican. So
half Puerto Rican.
Yeah, there you go. Something to be impressive by. So there you go. You got connections to the lovely island of Puerto Rico. Must be.
It was lovely at one point.
Yeah, it was indeed. I think I'm sure. So why are you a big fan of soccer? How did you came across that? Has it come across from when you were a young age? And why are you a Liverpool fan? That's what to say as well, kind of thing.
Yeah, soccer I got into when I was probably just getting out of middle school or something. I don't know. I got a FIFA video game, and I started playing it a lot, and I was like, this is kind of cool. What if I started watching it? And I started watching it, and then I think the next year was the World Cup, and that was just massive. It was massive. So that just made me fall in love with soccer even more. And I was like, I need to pick a team to support. And I saw all these top teams like Manchester United.
The best team, by the way.
Yeah, whatever. Chelsea, Arsenal. I don't even want to give Manchester City the satisfaction, but they had already won 2 league titles by then. So I saw all them, and I was like, I want someone who is not a favorite, who's the underdog, And I saw Liverpool in their 2013-14 season where they came second, and it was only the slip that lost us the title. That just sold me on the whole idea. And ever since, I've been supporting them wholehearted. Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk. Top 3.
Yeah, there you go. Of course, Salah did play for Chelsea at one point, and then screwed them out and went and jumped over to the Merseyside area. Where
I can't believe that. I can't believe that they gave him up, man.
I know, yeah.
That dude was a gem.
He was. Now he's a gem at Liverpool instead. But it will be interesting what happens if the season does resume, because it's meant to resume in June the 12th. So it'll be interesting if it actually happens. Because the other day, 6 players were tested positive for coronavirus. So we'll see how that works. Me. We'll see how that affects the Premier League when it restarts. But I mean,
did you see that? I don't know if it was a legitimate thing, but they were talking about not allowing tackles when the season starts up again.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? You're just gonna let the dude run all the way down the field, not even get close to him. Got to maintain.
That was
like,
something ridiculous.
Don't even play the game. Don't even play the game.
Exactly. You know, it's like, did you see the Bundesliga?
I actually did not. I don't have cable or anything, so I didn't get to watch it. But I heard it was top.
It was top. It was top football, and I have to say, the Premier League can learn a lot from the Bundesliga of how they brought back football behind closed doors. We think it was the same kind of things of Bundesliga. You know, it might not have been as exciting or over the top because there's no fans there, but I mean, you can still play a classic game of football.
Exactly. I mean, football. I mean, as much as you want to think it's about the fans, it really is about the athletes and the game. Just like any sport, the fans they add another level onto it, and when they're gone, you realize that. But I don't think there's any problem with not having fans in the stadium. The UFC did it, and they had one of the best events I've ever seen. You can bring sports back without fans, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. What do you make of the UFC then?
I'm in love with the UFC, man. Justin Gaethje from Arvada, Colorado, hometown boy. Like it was awesome. It was massive to see that fight, and the whole event in general. Such a weird atmosphere, but also like it didn't take away from it. You know, it just made it more intense. You know, you hear their breathing, you hear every punch and every kick landing. It fucking just sounds awesome.
Yeah, definitely it does, and it was, it's going to get used to, getting used to the fact that you get to hear absolutely everything now. Back then, you couldn't hear nothing, but now you can hear absolutely everything they say when they trash talk their opponents. And they get in their face and come on, hit me. Yeah, all that interesting stuff which you don't really hear because the commentator's always too busy talking over. Now you get to hear exactly what's going on. And what did you think then? Did you enjoy the fight? And did you were you expecting any big results to happen, or were you surprised by any?
Okay. That main event with Justin Gaethje and Tony Ferguson blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. I never gave Justin anything past the third round. All the fights I've seen, he goes out there and he fights his hardest for as long as he can until he's either finished or he finishes. This one, he was a killer, dude. It was incredible to witness. After the third round, I was like, oh my God, like Gaethje could win. He's just got to survive. And by that time, Ferguson had already given everything. So, it was just crazy to see that. And that dominates everything else on the card. I love the rest of the card, but that was just the best part.
Yes, the main event bout is always the best in
Not
US.
always.
But
that one was a fucking amazing main event.
Which other card, which other match in the main event which you didn't enjoy from past UFC events you've seen? Then which one you've not really enjoyed? Or
I have one right off the bat,
Go on.
And I hate to say it because I'm a huge fan of Israel Adesanya, but Adesanya versus Romero I think was UFC 248. I enjoyed it because I can see all the techniques and all the mentality that they're displaying, but to an average fan, it's just two people faking throwing punches and one dude just doing a fighting stance. So it was boring, but I thought it was all right.
Fair enough. I've seen a few fights where they've all they've done is either mostly a few rounds by hugging each other. Kind of when they just grab onto each other against the cage and just not doing anything. Just, that's a bit boring as well. That's
those suck. I love a good grappling round. The Khabib fights were awesome to witness.
Yeah,
because he just dominated them on the ground. And it wasn't even boring. You were just watching him physically manipulate this dude into exactly where he wanted and then beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, those where they're just up against the cage, just breathing, not doing anything. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also I want to know as well, because apparently, I don't know if you're a big fan of this guy, but now you're probably going to mention now. It's been reported a few weeks ago that Dana White is in talks with bringing Conor McGregor back for another fight. Do you want to see him back in the octagon again, or do you think he'll retire and stay retired?
I would hate to see him retire. He's still in fighting shape.
I know.
But I'm not a big fan of him. I think he's a huge dick. But he's an excellent fighter, and as long as the UFC stops like giving him everything, just handing him fights on a plate, championships on a plate, and actually starts making him work back for the 4 years that he took off, minus one loss. Like no other fighter has remained in the rankings after 4 years. So I just think it's kind of bullshit how they treat him. But if he's gonna be working his way back to the top, then hell yeah, do it.
But I mean, like as well, because it's like as a defense will be like it's one of the biggest stars ever from the UFC. So they play saying thank you for his hard work by giving certain matches and.
Well, you can say thank you all you want, but like he's an athlete just like everyone else, and I don't think that type of magnitude, like the way they're treating him, I think takes the shine out of the modern athletes that are coming up. There's so many people that I think could kick the shit out of Conor McGregor if he was not training the way he's been trained. Like I want to see the athletes that work the hardest get the credit. Like Tony Ferguson never got his lightweight championship belt. He was only the interim championship twice. And that dude, literally nobody else could fight him. The only person who beat him was Justin Gaethje in the past 8 years, the decade, I don't know. And nobody expected it either. So how does that dude not get a championship out?
Yeah, I agree with you there. We'll see what happens in the future. For everybody who's watching right now here on the Edward Fowler Show, you just see that his screen is just gone small, but don't worry about that. I'll fix that in a moment. For my listeners who may be watching this, but not actually watching it, but listening to it, where can they find you on social media, by the way?
So social media. I feel it's not. So at Cito R, so Citor for Twitter. And yeah, that's about it. I don't have an Instagram, I don't have Facebook or anything.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. But maybe start.
Never say never. Never say never. You never know what's gonna happen. This time tomorrow, you might decide to make an Instagram page or Facebook page. You never know what you might do.
Whatever.
Next. You never say never.
It's always possible.
Yeah, I'm not. I've been doing this for a long time. I haven't created a Facebook page. So I don't see the need of one. I don't like to have one. It's just very boring.
Yeah.
Twitter is my first place.
Facebook is boring.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Twitter. I'll be ashamed to admit that I've been on TikTok lately, and that shit is so fun.
Is it?
There's some good stuff on, but it might be because I just have a stupid sense of humor sometimes, and a lot of that is just stupid stuff. So, it is what it is.
It is what it is. But I mean, can people follow you on there, or is it a private account or something?
Oh yeah, at the Santi Rico on TikTok. I don't make many TikToks, but I could.
Yeah, he could if he wants to. We can have a lot of fun. So if you want to,
just follow me and tell me what you want me to see.
There you go. If you want to see some randomness, go on there and follow him on TikTok.
Yeah, you want randomness, you'll definitely get some over here. I promise
yeah,
that.
There you go. And let's do it as well. What kind of music you're into? Let's talk about that as well, because
Oh, brother,
let's get to you.
You're talking about all my passions, man. I love it.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah,
we're going to know everything about you now. We're going to get people
straight to the meat and potatoes, right? Yeah, I love music in general. I can listen to anything. Well, I can't listen to anything. Some music doesn't really hit, but all genres. There's certain bands, certain songs that I can really bop to. Personally, I would say hip hop. is my top like category, followed closely by rock and like scream metal.
Okay.
And I also like, you know, calm, soothing island vibes. Some reggaeton, reggae, all kinds of shit. I listen to music all the time. I drive a lot, so I have a lot of time to listen to music.
Oh, man, really? Because he could start like a YouTube channel for like a vlogging in his car and these
You know, there's a lot of things that I could do.
reacting videos and stuff. So on TikTok as well, you could do that on TikTok as well. You know, that's some crazy ideas for you. Yeah.
There's plenty of ideas brewing around, but I guess I just gotta work on them. I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I'm just responding to a comment. Good.
Do you think?
No. I just sorry. Somebody just covered up my on. It's from Goldilocks. I don't know if you listened to that interview or not, but she came on my show a few months ago, and she just commented on another video of mine 40 minutes ago. So there we go. I'll respond to it in a little bit because you're on here. Because you're on here.
Yeah, man.
Right. You're here.
Goldilocks, who, man?
Yeah.
This is Santi Rico time.
Yeah, exactly.
How dare you?
The best backstage reporter.
In this side of the Rocky Mountain region. That's
Yeah.
what we'll say for now.
Yeah, I'll go a bit further and say I'm going to say the best in the world. There
You
go.
heard it. You
There you
heard
go.
it here first.
There
Best
you
in the
go.
world.
Yeah, there you go. What about that?
I'll gladly accept that from you, but I'm not gonna say that for myself. I don't think I'm there yet.
Fair enough. There we go. So I mean, like, well, you know, you say like genres like hip hop and rock and stuff like that. Then you know, who are some of your favorite albums and people you had to listen to from them genres?
Man, I could tell you so many like songs, so many bands that I love.
Give me a top 5, you know. Just give me a top 5. If you got a top 5, just give me a top 5, you know.
We'll do a top 5 for hip hop and a top 5 for rock, okay?
There you go.
We'll leave it at
Oh my god.
hip hop or R&B. I'll put those together. We'll do Frank Ocean, Isaiah Rashad, Flatbush Zombies, Lil Uzi Vert, and it's eluding me. We'll just say Joey Badass. Joey Badass has some bars. And rock is gonna be Highly Suspect, Beartooth, Every Time I Die. I already said Highly Suspect. Get back to me on that one, bro. There's just a million. Those are
fine.
top 3. I'll give you top 3.
That's fine. You can do top 3. That's absolutely fine. So let's talk about this as well. Then, so what other projects then are you involved in then outside of Rocky Mountain Pro? Are you doing anything else? You know, outside of Rocky Mountain
Really,
Pro?
I don't do anything.
You don't do anything.
It's quarantine, man. There's not much to do lately.
Nothing. Okay. Well, before quarantine, then what were you doing then? What thing were you up to then? Were you keeping yourself busy or?
I was hoping to keep the momentum going because my plan is to get plugged into the local sports circuits in Colorado Springs and Denver area. There's a couple of MMA promotions I think that run around here.
Nice.
And maybe start some interviews with them. I'd like to go to the what's it called? There's a local football club here called Switchbacks FC. I'd like to be able to get some interviews with them, but I still feel like I need a better body of work. So just send it.
Yeah, just do it. You know, what's to lose? You know, kind of thing. What's to lose? You know, I took a lot of risks.
You can always try again, eh?
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I took a lot of risk on this show. I thought I'd never get them people on my show you mentioned before. And guess what?
Yeah, but your resume was like, wow, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, guess what? It happened. You know, I just got into contact with MLW. You know, I got MLW on Twitter, asking for their email. Did not think I was to get any response from them, but I did. and then I got in. So if I can do that,
That's awesome.
you can do anything. Kind of
Yeah,
thing.
especially with a face like this, man.
Yes.
Anyway.
Exactly. Everybody's, be all over you. And I bet a lot of people, when they see this interview up on YouTube, a lot of people thinking, my word, they'll be saying a lot of interesting comments about you and your appearance. Anyway,
I hope they ain't just roasting me in the comments.
Nah, they won't be roasting you. They're probably saying, "Oh my God, people might say, I wish we could see, more of you, kind of thing." I bet people are thinking anyway. So,
I would love to put more of myself out there. That would be awesome.
Yeah, there you go. So let's talk about this then as well. I keep saying that word, my favorite word of all time. Would you ever, once things, in the future, this is not right now, like in the future, maybe 3-5 years, maybe even next year, who knows? But would you ever come to the UK?
The UK, dude. I would love to go to the UK. I would love to go to Liverpool and go see a game at Anfield. There's a lot of things that I would love to do in the UK. So there's definitely.
What else do you want to do in the UK? Apart from going to see your favorite football club in action, what else do you want to do? You want to try out some beer over here? You want to
that would be top. Some of the UK food sounds so good. Just
like what? Like what?
Meaty. I don't even know, dude. It's just like the movies that you see, like the freaking pot pies full of meat and shit.
Okay.
That sounds awesome. And it's just like the pub culture, I think, would be fun to experience as long as they don't call me a bloody Yank and kick my ass. I think it would be fun to go out and catch some drinks on the town.
Yeah. Have a good night out, kind of thing.
Yeah.
When things open up again, that'd be quite good.
Yeah.
The only thing you might get beat up at if you support Donald Trump, then you might have some trouble. But if you don't mention that publicly,
but do you get beat up for supporting Boris Yeltsin over there?
Boris Johnson? Nah.
Whatever his name is.
Nah. He's getting Brexit done, as we say over here. Brexit gets done. No ifs, no buts. Brexit
I don't
happen.
really support anything in this government, so you won't catch me saying anything about American government.
Oh, that's good to know. Then that's good to know. I'll leave anything to say. I'll leave anything to you about politics now. That's good to know. Well, let's be about politics then, because we don't know this. But do you think Donald Trump might win in November, or do you think Joe Biden might win?
God, I would hate to see either of them, but I hope Trump doesn't. Yeah, I think either one is possible. I know which one I'm rooting for, but
so means you'll be voting.
I thought that Trump had no chance in 2016, but I was 18 then, so I don't know. I really can't tell, dude. As I haven't started paying attention to politics since I started college.
Fair enough. Well, well, we can't wait to see what happens in November. Again, we might do a special live stream on that night. You never know. We might do it November the 3rd. We might go an all-nighter on the Fowler show, bringing you as it happens. That'd be quite good. Change my background screen from this background to a U.S. election night special. That'd be quite interesting. I'm thinking of doing that.
Eagles and fireworks.
Yeah. We got music.
All the above.
We have different music. It'd be a very different show. The Harvey show would be awesome. But what I mean is as well. It's meant to be a fun night. Unexpectedly, no one's going to win. You got two people. You can have a sick bit of lunatic, or you might have, somebody who apparently did some bad stuff.
A senile old man.
Exactly. You don't know what day it is.
It's a senile old man versus a senile old man. Who's going to win?
Exactly. Should be fun.
Find out.
Should be fun. But let's talk about this as well. Who do you, who do you think you would get to interview next? Then, like, do Mercury tell you who to go and interview next, or is absolutely up to you of who you get to interview?
Really, it's gonna go along with the matches. We keep the interviews somewhat in line with the matches, whether it's before or after a match, or regarding a match, regarding something that happened after a match or whatever. So I haven't seen what the matches are. I don't know who I'll be interviewing.
No. That's what to ask you is in case. And how would you describe your relationship with the owner, Mercury Yaden so far. Then, how would you describe your relationship with him? 'Cause he is a cool guy.
He is.
When we had him on this show, he kept getting interrupted with phone calls. He's one hell of a busy guy, but he's a good businessman, and he cared about his talent. And for example, Otis, he was a part of Rocky Mountain Pro, wasn't he? He trained there, and look at him now, he's won the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, good for him. I wish he would have won it in different circumstances, because that was some garbage. But good for Dozer. I love Dozer. He's a great guy. I haven't been able to meet him. I would love to interview him. But from what I see and from what I've heard of the people at Rocky Mountain Pro, he's great. Matt is he's something, dude. He put everything into this promotion. So he works all day and then he trains all night. So I could not put the man higher than that. It's a very positive relationship at all times. He yells and he gets angry and stuff like that, but that's the wrestling business, brother. You got to be able to get mad and get hot and then cool off and figure out what went wrong. So, he's a professional, and that's what I respect most in any business is professionalism.
Absolutely. And I had to say as well, because I watched while I was waiting for you to come on Skype this evening, I was watching some of another interview as Buddy Ray did, and he was talking about because you do this, it's as part of the business, you do pee somebody off, you pee a few people off, kind of thing.
It happens when you are putting people's bodies on the line and you are competing and you are risking like your livelihood every night. Like, yes, people are going to get mad, and like you can't be soft about it. You gotta, like, I was in a fraternity, and when everybody's drunk and there's a bunch of women around, like, it's just it's like ape mentality. It's so stupid. So I've seen stupid shit. This is not like masculinity overgrown. This is just making sure shit gets done right. You know what I mean? So yeah, you're gonna piss people off and you're gonna get pissed off at people, but the point of this is to work together and be able to work together and not like fucking hate each other. We're supposed to get along for the most part, at least enough to go out and do it. And you said you might not like somebody, but you have to work with that person. You got me and you got me professional. It's a job.
You just mentioned exactly. It's a
job.
Exactly, and and he said as well, if he does pee somebody out, then or if someone miscommunication and whatever, then he will say to him, let's talk about this in person, kind of thing. Let's talk about it and then let's make things better, kind of thing.
Yeah. So that's the least, that's the most important thing, is if you are not willing to sit down and talk to the person that you are mad at, then you're a child.
Yeah. Well,
a child.
I've made a lot of people mad at me, and for some of my opinions, and I made a lot of people mad at me. I'm willing for them to come on my show, but as you say, they are, I say it publicly. I can't contact them directly because they blocked me. But if they want to come on the show, I ain't got no problem with that. Let's talk about it on the show. Let's do it off the air. Whatever you want to do, I will talk to you and let's make it up. Let's get back to business, as I say.
I've never been a fan of negative feelings. Like, I don't think it's good to hate people. I think it's all right to dislike people.
Yeah.
But like just not liking someone viciously for years on end, like, that's never made sense to me. No, me either. So let's see. So you've been on the show now for what? 47 minutes. It might not feel like that to you, but I hope I'm going quite fast. But what is your feeling about me now? Your vibe about me? You said earlier on in the show that you got to meet somebody first, get to know them a bit before you do an interview of them, kind of thing. I think something on the lines of that. So, how would you describe me then? I'll rate the banter a solid 9 out of 10, brother. It was a good time.
Good. I'm glad I got 9 out of 10. So, what can I improve on then? If you'll give me a 9 out of 10, then what can I improve on to get a 10 out of 10 next time round?
Huh? I don't know. Just maybe like stop repeating yourself with the you know.
I get you.
That just kind of threw me off a little bit because I was trying to get in the flow, and it was random. It was like and then it was like It's like a different pace.
Well, we do a lot of wambling.
There it is.
It's a wambling show, man. It's a wambling show. It just comes to the top of my tongue without even me knowing. There you go.
Nah, I
understand. Again, then.
That's all right.
Happened again there. Anyway, while this has been going on, I have been looking at my phone because Goldilocks has been viewing some of my videos and leaving some great comments standing on some of the videos. So do check them out. Including we've got an American football player, 2 American football players now. This year alone. So so check them out. We had a singer and songwriter on there the other day as well, called Teo. Oh my word, Witsy, I think his name was. So Witsy, one of them. He's Australian, cool guy. Some great music. Check that out as well on YouTube.com. So, means will you be back here again anytime soon?
I'd be happy to return. I don't know about when you'd want me back, but sure. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, because we'll love you back, and maybe we can bring you back if you like a particular guest kind of thing. So, say if I email you saying I'm bringing on this person, for example, would you like to join? And then you can say, you can give me your feedback about that. How about that?
Sounds good. That sounds good.
Okay, cool. Well, stay on the line for a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then, show me subscribe to my channel. Okay, that's nice of her. There we go. Oh, my word. So it's been a pleasure, as always, here. And, of course, if you have enjoyed this video with my guest here tonight, then please make sure you smash a like. Smash a like on the YouTube channel, and make sure you do leave a comment in the comment section below of how I can improve the show. Do you agree with my guess of the 9 out of 10 for my great interview skills? Because again, this is uncut, unedited, unscripted here on the show. We don't do nothing about that. We don't like scripts. I don't personally have a script because I like to go with the flow, comment with questions on the spot. And also make sure you actually do share the video around with your wrestling and sporting friends who also like Liverpool or maybe other UFC or even boxing fans as well. And until the next video drops, enjoy the rest of your Thursday night. And don't forget, in 6 minutes' time, if you are in the UK and watching this, make sure you go out your door and clap for the NHS and social care workers and all for the frontline workers for keeping us all safe during the COVID-19 pandemic. And again, it's been a pleasure having on my guest tonight, and you can check him out on youtube.com/Rocky Mountain Pro and also on twitch.tv at Rocky Mountain Pro for all their upcoming shows when things go back to the norm of some sorts in Colorado, hopefully sooner rather than later, in a safe and ordinary manner, of course.